Welcome on back again. So it's actually a little bit later in the afternoon now, and the reason for that is I realized as I was going to install the rest of the fans, where I left you guys off last time, is I actually ran into a couple of issues here. Number one, first issue is actually these holes here weren't the proper size for the screws to fit through. I suppose I could have forced them all the way through, but I didn't feel like really reaming on those screws for a long period of time, so I actually went and picked up a new titanium drill bit set so that I could drill those out to the proper size. I didn't want to use old ones, and I wanted to make sure I had all my sizes covered. I actually drilled these out a few times step by step to make sure those fit. Second issue that I ran into was I realized that at one point in plotting this build that there are only 2 slots right up top here for my solid state drives to be installed, and so thusly there are the other hard drive spaces in the lower unit here. However, those would be covered by the fan installation, and I wouldn't be able to properly mount those if I did the fan installation. So we're actually going to move on to our next section here to cover 2 bases. Those bases being the solid state drive unboxing, and I have one of these converters for these 5.25 inch bays, so that I can mount one of these solid state drives in that cavity there. And so let's go ahead and get on with that. We've got some tape here as they do, so let's just go ahead. This is one of the this is the 240 gig. So this is actually going to be my primary solid state for my operating system and core software of the machine. And there we have it. There is 240. I'll go ahead, stick that one in there. Now these are all going to be the same, and I'm only going to run through a couple of the setups here, and I'll do the third one and finish the fan installation after I get this done here. So it comes with obviously the little bit of paperwork, and here is the OCZ solid state, and this is one of the 960s. So we're going to go ahead and open the other 960 as well. We're going to go ahead and get these guys mounted in here, primarily starting with the one that goes in this cavity, so I don't have to deal with that. And of course, mounting hard drives is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's go ahead and get started here. Open that up, just some plastic there. We'll get our converter, we'll get the 960 set up. Alright, you can see these solid states come with screw holes on both the bottom and the side, and we're going to go ahead and mount this one to this unit here. And let me just size this up here. Okay, so we want to go move the camera, get a little more center there, move the unit. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to set this guy on here, line up our holes. Like I say, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Got some hard drive screws. They should mount in nicely. We're going to leave it a little loose here. Like that. screws. Out of the tray. There we go. Set this one here. I'll go ahead and take this plastic, put this out of the way here. That's number 3. Now, anytime I am installing screws, installing hardware that requires multiple screws, I don't tighten them all the way. I tend to use the standard lug nut option, which is to tighten them in sort of an alternating star fashion. I start them in a star fashion. I get them all started, and then you always want to snug them up, but they ain't got to be overly tight. You definitely don't want to over tighten your screws. Just snug enough. And let's see here. Get me a couple of these guys over here. I believe this is the right size here. I actually bought an extra screw kit because I didn't like a lot of the screws that came with all of these. Let's go ahead and rotate that there. I hope the light isn't too terrible for you guys. It's not the best lighting in here for myself either. I may end up getting out my directional lamp. There we go. Great thing about solid state is that there's less vibration going on in the machine altogether as well. Not just the simple fact that obviously they are much faster than your standard hard drive installation, both in terms of read and write as well as your transfer rates down that center line are obviously all huge benefits. You not only get a quieter machine, but a faster one as well. Or not only a faster one, but a quieter one as well. Although and we'll just check that for stability there. Nice and solid. Now, let's go ahead. This might be a little difficult to get a good view doing this next one. So I'm just going to go ahead and apologize in advance. But, like I say, hard drive installation, super easy. You're looking at a typical 4-screw installation job. And that's that one. This is this one. And this is our second 960 gigabyte solid state. And let's see, dump those back in there. And you can see we've got our installation was there. You can see I actually got the majority of the fans installed. There's that Noctua. There's one of the scries at the back for outtake ports. And I'm gonna go ahead and set this up here. Hopefully you guys can still get a decent image, decent view there. Hey, funny thing about this is I don't think these were exactly set up for 2.5s. Which is no biggie to me, because I actually have a couple more of those converter trays. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm just going to set this back down here. So we're actually just going to go ahead and we're going to set up all three solid states up right in this bay right here. I'm actually probably going to pop this one out, and I want to put them in proper primary, secondary, tertiary order so that my 240's on top, and I've got the other two in line. And I'll be back with you guys after I finish that up, and we'll start the next segment. Alright, catch you guys in a little bit. Thanks for watching.